Good morning, almost afternoon. Today is Tag Tuesday. I'm going to just take my glasses out of the way, put them on top of my head. Got my tea, take a sip of it. And today's Tag Tuesday, and I was going to do fixing up the tags, but I really have some journals that I need to work on. So I thought, well, Tag Tuesday, we'll work on specific journals, and maybe if we have time, we'll do some other stuff. So I have this little one. It'll be a second thought. It is a commission journal that I got to get done. She wants a lot of writing because she's going to use it for wedding plans. She chose the paper. I chose wedding paper. She wanted something bright. She's seen my dyed papers. Is that how thick that? Oh yeah, it's an envelope. So she's seen some of my dyed papers that I did. So she kind of picked it according to the dyed paper she liked. So she picked this pretty hygienic, and so it's going to be where she writes all her stuff. So I've been like, I made things to do lists so that if she has things, I'm going to try to make a couple other little wedding type planning things for it. But I also have to make tags for it. But that's kind of my, and I just noticed that the little butterfly didn't get. So it's a simple journal with just, it's really meant for a lot of writing. And like I put an envelope, few envelopes in here. So she has places maybe she needs to tuck receipts or something in. So I tried my best to add a couple envelopes in there for her. So we might work on tags for that. But my main one right now I'm also focusing on is I kind of did one video on it and then I got sick. But I had done some work, and that's, I showed you how I put the flip-flop journal together. And then I added my papers. It has 3 signatures. So I did this one a little bit different because I've got a lot of different covers. Like I've got a pocket here, and I opened the envelope and put pockets here. Then it has my first signature in it. Then it has my second signature, and then you turn it over and you flop it open this way, and it's got another signature here. So I've been just slowly, and I did a tie. I did a little bit different tie than I normally do. I don't normally attach them. I usually loosely do them, but I did it like this. So, and then I noticed that because this pocket is taking a lot of beading, so I might have to put something along here, or maybe try a wet glue, because it just keeps, I've glued and glued, but it just keeps opening because it's the one where you majority of the time you're lifting. So, and I have made a few tags for it. So we might just go ahead and like I did some simpler tags, like I've done this, but I haven't covered it because I've been kind of just, and I might put a butterfly or something on that or leave it the way it is. So, you know, I've got a few little things here and there, but so I need to do some tags for this. But I'm not going to really go by piece of what's in here. We're just going to make some tags, and then I'll see what I use. So I'm just going to tie that up, put it to the side. Somewhere gentle. Now I have done a few things. This is what I mean. Like I made a tassel. I have a cluster. I made this tag using a die cut and some things. I designed it, but I didn't even cut it straight, so I have to fix that up. So I have a few things that sometimes I'll just pull out the purple stuff and work, and then I just put it in here and go from there. So I put the tassel here. And I even have this one is from it's a bit different paper, but if I wanted to, I could use that. But I'm not going to make bases. I'm going to pull out of that box of things I told you I already have all these bases that I don't use for anything. So I'm just going to pull out a few different variety of sizes. But even that's purple. That can go in there. I might use it. I'm not going to cover that one. I probably won't cover those butterfly ones. I think what I did is I just pulled out the box. I probably may not cover that. It's kind of, that one is too fat because I have to think, because it's not a wide journal either. I'm just seeing, I'm looking for, there's a couple of smaller ones we can cover. We'll just pull out a few out of here. Do we have some smaller ones in here? Maybe here. Just looking for things I can cover. There should give us a variety for now to work with. So with that, there's some tags I pulled out that we can work with. I pulled out a lot of the scraps here and there that I've been using for it. I have different scraps here. That I just pulled out some cardstock just in case that I had already cut. So I've got different, see, I've got flowers here. Get that out of my way. Some backing. That's more blue. It says purple when I printed it, but it didn't turn out purple. And that's just backing paper. So let's put that up here. I have 2 purple angels here that I could use on them. I'm just going to cut them out and then put the other angels aside. Something I wanted one angel, and then I noticed all these great pretty angels I found searching for free graphics. It takes a long time. So I'm going to probably make a ephemera package up with angels. I'm just going to put them aside so they're not, and I got my words, and then I've got other purple ephemera in here. Oh, there's a scrap we can pull out, more purple flowers. So I have scraps and purples because this is what I've kind of been, let's put that scrap up there because we're going to do a collage one. So I'm trying to pull out, and I think I have, do I have purple scraps in there? Nope. I thought I did. Again, here we go, guys. I turn on my video. I've got some purple scraps here. Sometimes I use a piece of paper that's already folded. Then I printed these, and I printed them wrong. This one doesn't have a lot of purple in, but it's good to break up some of the purple. So, oh, that's just my mason jars. This is just some ephemera I printed that I could use. And then I have some other purple because I don't have a lot of purple scraps right now because I used quite a bit of it already. So, and then I've got some over here. So we're going to work on that, go from there. Again, my space here is so limited sometimes. I juggle. And then I have the actual, when I work on a journal, sometimes I use a file folder, but I've been liking this better, so I've got scraps in here. So let's get started. I'm trying to, I have all this space here that you can't see my hands that would be better working space for me because I'm not stretching. But the moment I tilt, I'll show you, the moment I tilt my camera, it'll slowly slide. The weight of the camera won't let me. So I'm trying to fix it, and I raised it a little higher, hoping you get more of a picture. See, I have to push my board up, and I have all this space, so I feel like I'm kind of leaning into it. And so I've got to play around with it at some point, figure out how I can get that so I'm not, it's really uncomfortable for me. Okay, I'm going to try not to think, like this one I don't know if I'm going to cover it or not, or just use that as a background and maybe collage some more on it. Let's start with a little wee one. Now, and sometimes I don't do all collaging. For instance, in this case, this is a smaller one. Let me pull a pair of scissors out. And I'm just going to cut the white off of this. And the reason I do that is because I'm one of those people that if I don't, I'd put my garbage can too far away, and now I just threw paper on the floor. So basically I'm going to just cover this whole thing in one because I like the paper. And then I don't think I'll add anything on that, maybe just a wording, just because sometimes I just like how beautiful the paper is. And you don't always need to have to cover it up. So, simplicity, I think sometimes we think it's got to be over. I know me. I think I have to add more and add more and add more. But sometimes simple is just as beautiful. And I do both now. So and sometimes this looks good just tucked in a little spot. So that's it. I'm going to basically leave that one like that. This one paper here is catching on my knees. Let's turn that sideways. So I'm going to leave that like that. Now, let's throw that over there. Now we're going to put something on the background of it. Oh, and we have a piece right here that's waiting for us. So we'll go right ahead and glue that. Now, I don't always put my tabs on the top till I kind of know where in the pocket it's going, because if it's a small place and I already have a lot of ribbon or something, I'll do something different. So sometimes I don't put my tabs on. I stick them in the pockets and then I go back through. I don't even think I have a journal like that I can show you. I was just thinking, I thought yesterday I did that with something. Oh, yes, my Christmas journal. Because on Merry Mondays, I only work on Christmas. So I did a video, and then for the rest of the evening, I worked on the journal itself. And I made pockets, and I had tags that were already done, so I kind of stuck them in there. Some of them need some more work to them, but I just put them in the pocket, and then I'll go back through, and I'll go pocket by pocket and look at everything. And I do things sometimes in different ways depending on how I started out with the journal, because that Christmas journal is one that I had papers already done. So this one, pretty much, I put it here. I know I put it here, but it's so tiny it gets lost in my desk. I am going to go ahead and lightly ink this. I don't need a lot on the edges, but it's sometimes just where the paper's attached, like you'll see that blue. So I don't want that blue to stand out. So that's where this comes in handy, because then I can cover up some of the blue. Always miss one corner or two with gluing. There we go. That's an easy fix. There we go. Hoping I'm on camera because I'm stretching. I actually might. What I might do. It's really bothering me why I can't get that to stay. Because I just want to be comfortable. And I can't really see because I'm trying to put it higher. Sometimes I would put it lower so I can see the video every so often. But I'm wondering if, because we're just doing tags and not doing a journal, we can go in closer. When you're doing a journal, because you need to see more of it. So just like that. I'll close the glue up. So we have that. Now I don't really want to hide that at all. So then I'll just go, remember I showed you the words, and now that I showed the words, oh, right here. Let's see, what words would we like? I'm just going to tear this down like this, just to make it easier sometimes. These are words I made, because sometimes I buy the words, but I don't necessarily use a lot of the words they have, and I keep wasting, so I've been making my own words to words that I would choose to use on a more regular basis. And I got to make some more up. And I do them in different fonts so that I have, I don't know if you can hear my one baby. Just one second. Pika, what do you got? Bring it to me. She's a cat, but she carries things in her mouth and meows, and she likes you to call her, and she'll drop it by you like if she was a dog. I'm wondering, Dream Big might be too big. Then I was thinking maybe the Hope. You'll get to see my great cutting skills. I do pretty good with fussy cutting. Words I don't, because the straightness of the line. Thinking maybe the Hope. Because I think the Dream Big is going to be too big, even if I trim it up really close. Yeah. Okay. What do you have, Pika? Now I really kind of want a tiny butterfly. Now the question is, do I have a tiny enough butterfly? That is a good color for that. I'm just going to, sometimes I don't fully fussy cut out if I'm thinking of a certain butterfly. Sometimes I'll just cut as much as the white off, just so I see if I want that butterfly. Oh, she's got one of her toys. Nope, I don't like that one. Yes, Pika, I know. I don't know if her toy is stuck. Do you have your toy? You got it? Okay. Yep, I see it. You play with it, baby. You play with it. She's funny when she plays because she picks it up and throws it. Whoa! She almost threw it up on top of the desk. That was quite funny. I see one. I see one. Maybe. Sometimes for me, getting the color, I have to get it closer to the actual colors. Even though I'm good with colors, sometimes I need to, I'm very visual, so I need to see it. I have two I'm thinking of. That one might work, and there was one other I was thinking. Because I just think it might need just a little butterfly on it. I think that one. That is the one we're going to go with. We're not going to overthink it too much. Let's cut that butterfly out. She's my much more active cat, and she's not a big cat. I call her my little panther because in this one apartment we lived in, we had a long wall. And she would run down the wall, but then run up the side of the wall and then back down and it was funny to watch. And she likes to climb, and it's actually how, when she was 6 months old, she fell out of a window 4 stories. and cost me a bundle to get her fixed up because she's a climber. And she pushed her way through a window that didn't have a screen. I mean, it was a little hole. And so, there we go. We're just going to put that like that. Now, sometimes when there's antlers, I just cut them off. These ones were so faded, you couldn't see them. So I will sometimes just cut them off, and then I draw. And I find when fussy cutting, sometimes, you know, you get pretty close, but you still don't get close enough. Best thing to do is just, I don't really want it heavy inked, but I'm just going over those edges to kind of get rid of that white a little bit. Just a little bit. Now put a little glue on here. Get that tip up there. I got hiccups. It's because I'm not a morning person. I'm a late night person. Like my whole goal is to turn around my schedule and start getting up at 10 a.m. I know for some, you've already got so much done for the day, but I'm not usually crawling into bed till 2 or 3 in the morning. Because in my house, it's a busy house during the day, especially like at 2:30 on, the little one comes home from school. I babysit him after school, so I get his snack ready. Usually he just watches some TV, just relaxation, you know, and then sometimes he comes down, talks to me for a few minutes and goes back upstairs, or sometimes he'll bring his some of his alphabet lords down and we'll talk about his alphabet lords and things like that. So and then I cook dinner and then clean up. By the time I clean up the kitchen, and yesterday and today he had to take a lunch, so then I prepare his lunch. I do all this to help because I get to live here very inexpensively. And I was talking with the gentleman yesterday, and he said, you know, you're not obligated to cook. And I said, no, I know that. I said, but for my own self-worth, because I know how reasonably I live here, it makes me feel better because I don't feel like I'm taking advantage of them, and things like that. And the little boy, I just love that little boy. And so, you know, and then I come downstairs and I've got about a half an hour to an hour, and then I do quiet time with him. That's my special time. I almost take it over because I just enjoy that cuddle time, and we watch Tiazato, which is what he called it since a baby, because his dad didn't like him to watch YouTube too much, and so me and him would watch YouTube and watch. He liked car shows back then, so he called it Tiazato, and he still calls it that because that's our time, Tia and autos, and auto car in French, and so I like that time, and he falls asleep on the couch. We've never been able to get him to fall asleep in his bed. Never, ever. He just doesn't do it. We've tried it, and we've tried it, and so we don't fight it. There we go. There's a tag done. And again, I'm not going to put this on till I have it in a journal. So I'm going to put that in my box of ready done. So that's a nice, easy one. Now, one tag, I did print something specifically that I wanted it to be done a certain way when I was thinking about what type of tags I want for it. And I purposely didn't make it, I made it as small as I could because I want to get the majority. And not often I do this, but sometimes when I'm looking for something specific, I will, where's the flower here, but I want some words in it. Yeah, I think I'll go here like that. And then I don't do this often, but I put a pencil here. It's probably just buried here. Oh, I know what I forgot to do on that other one. what I meant by drawing them on, I just take my fine tip marker and I just do that. Now you could leave, don't even have to put them on if you don't want to, but I do. There we go. Now now that I got my pencil, and I will actually trace the tag because I want a particular position of it, and when I turn the paper over I can't really tell the best, and I want to make sure, because again, I'm not gonna she decided it was time to eat. I think I'm going ruler to tear this. This is my terrible ruler. It's very thin, and you don't know how many times I've chipped it. It'd be great for collaging. And sometimes I do have it here. When I'm making tags, I just glue these pages together, because sometimes if you see I have 2 boxes of scraps, and then I have this now, and I'm going to pull out that purple, but since I'm working on that purple, and I'm getting out of control with scraps again. So I need to start doing some collage tags. I need to make some collage papers and clean up the scraps. So right now, a lot of times when I'm out of hand with scraps and I know I'm going to be making more scraps and I'm working in a particular color, I will keep this close by, and instead of throwing that somewhere, I'll just go quickly and I'll throw it. And this one I'm just randomly putting on because I'm going to make hearts and butterflies out of it. So that should have been closer to that end. So I'll do that. I'll keep that close by. And that way I'm not building up more scraps because I have so many right now. So many. And I probably wouldn't use much of the green leaves on it. I might use a little bit, but I need to erase that line so I won't glue that on. So, like, I'll keep that one part, and these little ones work really well for the butterflies and the scrappy hearts, and I'll show you for those. I should do another video on it. I do have one video, but I don't know if I did butterflies. I did a live with butterflies. I don't know if I brought I'm just going to erase that line because this is such a little piece that it'll get lost on the desk. So I want to deal with it right away and get it. So we're almost ready for that tag. And what I mean by, I know I brought them over. Did I put them in here or did I leave them on? Oh, yes, I knew I had brought them over. So this is a scrappy heart that I do, and that's the butterfly. And I do those. And then sometimes I get little mounts left, so I make little, and I'll turn this into a button. Those are just little pieces I did. So I'm just going to throw this on here anywhere. And it necessarily does not have, it's just random. So this is the great thing about it, because you want lots of little pieces. Okay, and I didn't cut that as close as I needed to, so we'll just fix that up a little bit. Fix that up a little bit. I probably should have glued that part on first before trimming it up too closely. And now it got really quiet in here because my computer stopped. But if I find that I need to, I can also trim the tag up a bit. And this is one of those things that when I first started, I was looking for all the freebies I could because I was so new, and I printed all kinds of these off, but I never used them like this. and they're just sitting in that box, and it's good cardstock that I printed it on. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get those used up. And now I collaged a lot of them, but I did it all in pinks. And because I have a lot of pink journals on the go. So she is really going crazy. Uh-oh. She was upstairs scratching something, so... So... She likes to scratch the wood. And he has some nice... his wood tables upstairs, so she gets herself in trouble. Don't you? Huh, Pika? Got yourself in trouble? She just jumped up on my other desk. She might eventually jump up here. And then I'm just going to trim it to fit it. No biggie. She does. Her sister sleeps much more than her. Her sister's a tubby one. She likes her food. I play with her to just get her somewhat active. But there we go. There's that. And again, I'm just going to put a word on here. Now this one could be trimmed in lace, so I might not even put a word, because I might put a trim of lace on it, depending on what type. If the pocket is too flat and I can't get it in there, but if it's one I can, I might put a piece of lace, but I haven't done the back. I'm not going to leave this back this brown, only because I want some thickness to it, but I kind of want... I thought I brought a piece of purple scrap blank, because I kind of want to line it in a background of purple. Guess it doesn't necessarily have to match. And then that way, pretty much, this one... because I don't have heavyweight cardstock. My printer doesn't deal well with it. So I buy the ones at Michael's. They're Recollection white, and it's not the strongest, but the next one up, it's too heavy for my printer. So, but I find also, because my journals get bulky, I like to keep these thinner. I have my glasses down because I'm... There we go. And voila, another tag. This one definitely will have... This one here, I will definitely put a ribbon to the top of it because of the prettiness of it. I'll probably put a nice ribbon on the top of it. I only have light purple. I don't have any deep purple ribbon. It's funny when you make certain journals all the time, you collect that ribbon, but then I haven't, and purple's my favorite color, and I really haven't done much in purple. I have one that I started for myself and I haven't finished, and I should pull it. I need another signature in it, get it so that when I'm making things up like right now, whatever I don't use, I can put in that one. I don't actually journal. I used to when I used to actually have a life. But I should journal right now. I should be journaling I just started really this in January, where I kind of had an idea in the fall that I was going to take this into a business. And with my sister's wedding, I really couldn't concentrate it on. And in January, I think so. I should journal my journey as I build my YouTube and things like that. I have a group that I run called Junk Journal Craft and Chat, and I love it. Don't get me wrong, it's my very happy place. It was the first group I joined. I've been in it for 3 years. But it's a big group, but nobody really participates. And it's not really, it is my group because I took it over, but it's not my group. And I feel like if I put too many videos in, I'm promoting myself. So one part of me debates about starting my own where it's just products I'm doing for my business. So I'm debating that back and forth. So because in there, like, it's not my group personally, so promoting my channel, I let on Wednesdays and Sundays people can promote their YouTube channels and things like that. So I try my best, other than if I'm doing something for events, to only do it then. Now I keep thinking something pretty on the bottom would look so nice with that on that, but I don't know what I have handy. Now, that's not quite, I had one, but I don't know where. I don't have a lot of trim, so I'm just seeing what I have quickly. See, like I said, all my purples are like almost the same shade. I think that might be my favorite shade of purple. That's what I'm starting to wonder. It really is, because if you see all that shade of purple I have, see, again, it's all the same shade. And that's too bulky for it. Because when I put it in the pocket, see, again, it's all the same shade. Maybe just, oh, that might work just perfectly. Just something light, just to add a little blim blim to it. We'll go ahead and do that. Oops. All my purple. Purple, purple, purple. It's all the same shade of purple. I need some darker purples. That's what I need. Some darker purples. Whoops. A lot of times okay, now let's put that on. Come on. You don't want to lay flat for me. I don't think I got enough glue over here. There we go. Now I'm trying to sit here. I think I'm going to make myself a big salad for lunch. I cooked when I made the little Jacob some his lunch. He loves egg salad sandwiches in his lunch. So I boiled 2 extra eggs. So I have 2 hard-boiled eggs upstairs. I took some bacon out, and I have some lettuce, peppers, cucumbers, and tomatoes, and avocado. And so I'll fry up the bacon and crumble it into it with the egg and the... There we go. That's nice. Just added a little something, and now we could put maybe on a slant so everything looks so straight. But I don't like how bright this is, so I'm going to doll it up some. And even sometimes when this seems a little bright, I'll just, not hard, just very, very lightly take away from some of that brightness. And I'm going to use that Dream Big, and I'm not going to put it straight, because I was going to put it straight, but this time I think I'll put it on a bit of an angle. Just a little bit of an angle here. There we go. And then we just have to put the topper on. There we go. And I can't throw that in the box of ready to go because it's wet, so we'll stick it up there to dry. There we go. We've got 2 tags done. Woo woo. we're just trucking along here. Now, I make this new type of tag. I'm just seeing, let me pull out my scrap box. I don't think I have a big enough piece in here. See, even I have this, and I throw them in my scraps, and it's a cardstock, but I had, originally it was the way I was doing my sister's seating, but I didn't like how it looked. I didn't like the writing on it, and I changed it up. So instead of throwing that out, I can cover that and turn it into a journal card or a tag. So I keep that. I'm going to show you another little, oh, don't think I have enough. Maybe. I'm going to show you a little type of tag. I got it it's not my idea. I got it, someone sent one to me, and I make it like this, and it can be a little writing spot. You could write it a little something, but it looks cute in the journal itself. Some of it, now I'm not going to do, of course, the paper. This is kind of my sample one, and I put like doily and some paper and some ribbon and a punch. This one's a little too wide. Well, it could be that, but I'm going to trim it up a little because I like them thinner. And so I make that type of tag too. Just a tiny tag, straight tag with some paper. This is where the scraps come in handy. And you only want little scraps, so this one would definitely have to ink the sides because as I tear it, there we go. Take a little book page. This might be too much here. What other color can we put on that? What other scrap do we have down in here? So whatever way you decide to do it. It's like a little cluster, basically. And now, of course, I can't glue this on yet. Because I gotta cover this. Do we have, just thinking, do I have a, you could collage it if you wanted to. If you wanted to use up some smaller scraps, I could collage this, but I think I want to do it in one full piece, I think is which way I'm going with it. Let's put that there. Going into, I'm lifting that up and knocking it off. I'm just going to see if we'll use this one. This will work. This will work. And then again, because it's little, I'm not going to collage it. We're going to do a collage tag in a second. So I'll come back to that because I want to have this so that I can cover it. So I'm just going to glue this. Oop. There we go. I didn't do that so well. And I can already see where I Missed some glue. Okay. So I'm just going to take a ruler. I sometimes find the ruler the easiest. That corner does not want to stay down for the life of me. Jeez. There we go. With the ruler, I normally have to clean it up a bit, but at least I find my lines get a, there we go. Now, I'm not going to color the back till after. Now, you don't have to, but I kind of hide the staple on the back. Ugh, stuck. There we go. So we're going to leave it like that. I'm going to ink the side up here. Gonna add more texture to it, I think. I find sometimes with it, the more a little bit of layers you get, it's really cute. I'm just gonna add some tulle. And I got so much stuff here I'm juggling. I don't know where to put it in my little space. Oh, Pika, sorry about that. That was my cat, and she just knocked the camera. She's going to her window to watch the birds flying. But I can't find, so we'll just stop it there. Sorry, guys, I'm going to just shift it back now that she whacked it good. There we go. Sorry about that. I hope I didn't make anybody too dizzy. Okay. Here we go. This tulle is bunched up nicely. So there, and then I just need an image. And a lot of times what I use, I'll see if I can find one I can use. Something I make, and I keep them on hand. But this is where, when I told you I made those scrappy hearts too, if I could find one that's got some good color in it, the little ones. Of course, now that I want to, there, I could put that heart, which I think I might do. I just might do. But there's one other thing I was thinking. If I can find it easy enough. I make with the scrappy paper, but I don't think I have any punched in purple. If I had it punched in purple, I would. Sometimes I take these, and I sometimes punch them in color. But let's see. There's it with that flower, or with that heart. If I had that heart in a little tiny one. But you know what? Oh no, because it's upside down. Oh, Pika. Sorry. Pika, keep going. No, don't knock the camera. Pika, you can't sit there, baby. You're going to knock everything over. Pika. And then I take it and I staple it. Oh, let's throw those flowers back in there. Okay. Pretty girl, go on. Just knocking everything over. There, get everything picked up she just knocked over. And there we go. Now, sometimes I won't show the staple there. I'll staple. Now, if you don't like the staple showing, staple that and then glue that on, which is something I think, no, I'm going to leave it like that. And then I'm going to cover the back. I just had, I think that was too thin. Yeah, I thought I could use that little scrap up. Oh, but I do have some in here that are perfect. Almost. This is where sometimes the ends of things come in handy. Perfect. I'm saving that for something. I know what I'm saving that for. Come on, I have lots of paper strip scraps in here. Perfect. There we go. Sometimes it's going to come through there, but that's no biggie. There we go. It's a little tiny, oops, I almost put it the wrong way. It's a little tiny tag. Little tiny tag. Gets a little tricky with that on it, but the nice thing is I can just pull it forward a little, trim up. Guess I just got so many little scraps, we're just gonna randomly throw that on there. Then we don't have to worry about it. Boop. There we go. And we just gotta, now this is a little bit lighter than I probably should have went with, but that's okay. You can age it up. Just do that. There we go. So there's a little tag. And hopefully we're not getting too much shadows now the sun decided to come out. So that's a nice simple little tag. And when I was doing that, I was going to show you, but I don't think I have a big piece in here. I need a piece of music paper. That's what I need. Or maybe I have something up here ready that I can use. Yeah, we'll use this. Now this is another type of tag I make now, and that's thanks to Leslie at 507 Willow 507 Willow Road Journals. Now I don't know where she got it from, but she does. It's a very simple. I just have a simple piece of paper here. I'm folding it over. Now if you want to make it a little bit more stronger, you could throw a piece of extra paper in there just to give it some more sturdiness if you want. I'm not gonna, if you so feel like you would like to add that to it. I wish I had a bigger, I'll just do this really quick. Now, she doesn't always do that because sometimes by the time she layers, actually, now that I ripped that off, I don't think I will. I think I will stick just this piece in there, just so I use up that scrap, even though that's perfect scrap for things. So we'll glue that side. put it down just to, you don't have to do that. That was just me. I just want to see, it's kind of me testing out to see how it feels. And sometimes when I'm gluing the two papers, I will glue both sides. That way I know it's a little more, that I didn't miss something, hopefully. Then I just glue those two pieces of paper over. So it just kind of, for me, it just kind of gives. And then here, we're going to take, I had that nice long piece for so long sitting here. Now that I want to use it, I won't be able to find it, because that's just the way my little ball bounces sometimes. It was that nice long piece of rose one. We have that. Let me see if I can find it again. Also, what might look nice is this. Some of this being used. But I had that nice one long strip, and I thought about that right away. But it's not here now. So I'm going to pull this out for a second. And now with this, because I'm going to use it to collage, now you don't necessarily, I don't think I want to collage that all up, and that would be too much print. That's why that one piece of paper I had sitting here for so long was going to be perfect. And it is gone like the wind, because I want it now. So of course it's not going to be easy to find. Because I want it. Now in a few minutes when I don't want it, it'll pop back up. I'll take a mouthful of tea for 1 sec. It just helps soothe my throat and doesn't start me coughing, because with that whooping cough. Oh, a little piece of this might look cool on there. I want one with a little bit of the color. We might end up using a piece of that. I don't want that long piece. Oh man, what did I do with it? It's the perfect piece, perfect scrap for it. I'm just gonna give me 2 seconds to waver through this scrap pile. How can this happen? Why is that fussy cut in my scraps? Well, I might pull that out. Well, oh, there it is. There it is. Patience. Okay, I'm just going to take and I'm going to know it. I have a scrap from last night. I'm just thinking it's going to be perfect. I was going to throw it out, and then I thought, no, this might be a perfect piece. Just do one thing with it. Now this is a really thin piece, and it can be used because, or you can do it bigger if you want. I'm just going to see. I'm going to put this, sorry, I want more of the music showing. So I'm going to put that there, and I'm trying to think. No, it looks too straight, too straight, too straight. Too straight. I think I need